today. Feral! If you see me, keep walking. Do not make eye contact. Do not square up at me. Don't act like you know me. Like, I want to eat, like, maybe they voted for Kamala, but, like, I want to eat them right now. Like, I want to take a bite out of those glutes in a bad way. I'm fucking feral!
You feeling feral today? I know I am. Anyway, it's Red Channels. If you like this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe. Consider going down into the description of this video and subbing to me on Patreon. Anyway, enjoy the show.
So here's what you're going to do in this last holiday season we have before a Trump presidency. Whenever you travel, whether that's for Thanksgiving or anything else during this time, you are going to stop at a store that is not in the town where you are from. And you are going to go and you will purchase a phone and a minutes card with cash. You will then take that phone and wrap it in the most obnoxious Christmas wrapping paper you can find with a really pretty bow, and you're going to give it to somebody within your circle who is at risk of having to flee. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who find themselves within that demographic now. This is the perfect gift to them because you are giving them a burner phone that people would have a very difficult time tracing back to them should they have to flee. Take full advantage of the holiday season where we can gift our friends things that might incriminate them should they have to buy it themselves.
This is a message for any MAGA cultist that knows me, that is in my family, that used to be, and I mean used to be my friend. If you are a MAGA cultist, if you follow and or support the orange shit turd, I want no part of you. I don't care if you are my niece, my nephew, my cousin, my siblings, my parents, my kids. I don't care who you are. If you support this clown, we are not friends. We are not family any longer because you just supported someone against my rights and the rights of people that I love. If I work with you, I have to be professional and I have to speak with you professionally at work so that I don't lose my job. However, make no mistake, if you support him, I will never be your friend. We would never be friends out of work, and I will never respect you. That's all I have to say.
Naga, we told you this was coming. Elon Musk is saying out loud and for everybody to hear. This is a man that is a naturalized citizen. He was a gazillionaire before he got here. Now he's the richest man in the world, living off of government grants and government funding, all at the expense of taxpayer money, by the way. Who's telling us now that he will cut Social Security? Fucking deport this piece of you-know-what. He needs to... Biden, Democrats, grow some fucking balls while you're in office and take this man's citizenship the fuck away. He needs to get out of the United States, full stop. And if our congressmen are okay with cutting benefits to our senior citizens, fuck you all.
You'd be surprised at how many old boomers there are who just live to siphon wealth from young people. Like that's the reason why they vote the way they do. They're convinced that Republicans are gonna take away their Social Security. It's completely ridiculous, but that's the mentality a lot of them have.
So every time I feel my anger over the results of the election starting to subside, and I start feeling like I can maybe lead with compassion and think with compassion, I will inevitably read the stupidest fucking take from that orange taint of a man and reach levels of anger I haven't reached before over him and over everybody who voted for him. And I fear this is going to be a cycle that I will not be able to get myself out of. And that may just be the Aries inside of me just coming out. Or that may just be an excuse I'm trying to find. But regardless.
Like, he has no choice but to protect his son at this point. And if I were him, I'd be giving pardons to literally everybody. Anybody, people in Congress, the whole January 6th committee, like, just preemptively pardon all of these people and protect them and give them that cushion before he leaves office. Like, that's what I would be doing right now. Because Trump is making it very clear he is going to go on this massive revenge tour as soon as he comes into office with who he is nominating into these top fields.
So ironic to see Democrats who are so concerned with precedents being broken by Trump now be champions of preemptive pardons, which were never a thing before now.
Okay, this message is for the Trump supporters in the comment section. Not just mine, but any comment section that you've been asked to stay out of. And it's not even stay out of it. It's just that we're done with you. I don't want to fight with you. It's too late for that. I don't care about your opinions. I never have. I don't want to hear your bullshit anymore. The lies you guys spew, the reasonings you guys give. Like, we don't give a fuck. Just go make your own little community together where you guys can all praise your cult leader daddy and leave us the fuck alone. Don't come to us when you need anything. Don't ask us, what do you mean, what is the tariff? What do you mean, what is Project 2025? You're on your own. Like, that means you're on your own. On social media, in real life, in your churches, wherever the fuck you guys gather. We're done with you. Fuck off.
Okay, Magus, clear something up for me. I'm going to assume that the number one issue for most of you during the election was the economy. Everything is too expensive. You can't buy groceries. You can't buy gas. You can't pay your bills. And it's a systemic problem. It's Joe Biden, or it's inflation, or whatever. And you voted for the guy who basically yelled the loudest about it. But then when liberals were saying years ago, our bills are too high, we can't afford to buy a house, we can't buy food. Then it was, stop buying Starbucks and avocado toast. Get a job. Get a better job. Learn a skill. Learn a trade. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Stop asking for handouts. Your failures are your own problem. It's not society's fault. Stop being lazy, right? Tell me I'm wrong. So then why is it that you shouldn't need to get another job? You shouldn't need to cut back on your spending. It's everyone else's fault when you can't pay your bills. But when a liberal has the same problem, then they're too lazy, handouts, they don't want to work. Explain that to me. That'd be appreciated.
I just wore my Make Men Afraid Again shirt in public. And aside from my very conservative aunt who frowned at me, the girlies, they were smiling at me. The men, they looked very concerned. As they should be. I love this shirt.
Good for you, Joe. Good for you. Pardons all around.
Bracket. In all my years, I've never seen anything as fragile as a MAGA man. Not only do they go around worshiping an 80-year-old, overweight, unhealthy man who wears more makeup than anyone I've ever met, but they take his win as some kind of personal victory for them when 95% of his voters do not fall into the tax bracket that will benefit in any way from his presidency. They voted for him to take their money away and give it to himself and his rich friends, and they scream and holler like it's some kind of victory. On top of that, Trump allows them for the first time in their life to feel superior to others. They know that women's rights will be taken away, that Latinos will be deported, that under Trump's administration, an open racism towards black people will be far more accepted. And all of this makes the MAGA men feel good because putting other people down is the only thing that gives them joy in life. They have an ego like a fragile toddler, and watching other people suffer is the way they get off. So of course they're all really happy right now.
I'd really love to hear this rich, liberal, white woman try to account for why a majority of Latino men voted for Trump and then over 20% of black men voted for Trump. How would she explain that? Who do they feel superior to? Disgust. These people are just completely out of touch with reality.
I think we severely underestimated the amount of women around us who will never be able to stop seeking the approval and validation of the white men around them. And y'all really exposed yourself with the results of this election. These white women who voted against our interests, these are the women that we went to high school with, that we were best friends with in college, that we played sports with our whole lives. But they chose to listen to their dads. They chose to listen to their boyfriends or their husbands. They chose to put the interests of the white men around them in their lives above the interests of women, above the interests of minorities, above the interests of oppressed people. I will never be able to wrap my mind around that. How you can be a highly educated woman, see how women around you are being treated, see how minorities around you are being treated, and still choose to value the opinion of the white men around you the most and vote for their interests. One of the most important women in my life married a rich white man, and she chose to vote for his interests instead of the interests of her 3 daughters. The silence from all of these women right now who could not bring themselves to vote for Harris, to vote for another woman in this election, is shameful, and we will not forget. I think
just sitting here in my shithole sanctuary state of New York, enjoying this Thanksgiving day, and I came across a news article that talks about how New York is kind of talking about the idea of joining Canada, with Trump saying that he's going to withhold federal funding to states that do not cooperate with his mass deportation. He's going to hold federal funding. Well, guess what, Orange Pumpkin? New York pays more in federal taxes than what you guys send us. So kind of thinking New York doesn't need you. So as you're tossing around the idea of all these sanctuary cities and how awful they are, just remind yourself that New York has more taxpayers than most of the middle of the country. So as you're getting defunded for most things because, well, you voted for that, just keep in mind, I'm sitting here in my shithole sanctuary state with rights intact and my government actually working for the people.
By the way, this is all for my Republican girlies that voted red and voted for Donald Trump. What the fuck are you doing on the internet? Shouldn't you be in the kitchen baking some bread from scratch and tending to children, washing some man's dirty underpants? Why are you on the internet? Should be very quiet on the whole western front of this busted ass country. Sincerely, what are you doing on the internet? Shouldn't you be reading some passage from the Bible about how women should tend to their man's whatever? For reals, get off the internet.
Do you have anything to say to that as a girly who voted Trump?
She is the type of woman that makes men hate women.
Wow. How do you feel when you're washing the skid marks out of my underwear?
Well, luckily for me, I have a washing machine.
Basically, if you voted for Trump, you don't give a fuck about me. And when I said that, this person realized, I don't know what they fucking realized, but you know what they said in that moment? They said, well, that's too bad. That's too bad. You're letting your politics run you. And I wanted to come back with, no, I'm letting my morals and ethics run me, motherfucker. I can know exactly what's running your dumb ass. But instead, I'm like, nope. Instead, this is what I said. I said, you're entitled to your opinion. And they're like, well, that's too bad. Your politics are running you. You're entitled to your opinion. That's just too bad. And I realized, oh, this is one of those people who needs the last word. Like, I almost wanted to keep going. You're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion.
Eat the rich includes your billionaire capitalist president-elect, MAGA. Just saying. And his little pony boy, Elon. Just saying. Oh, but those are good billionaires, right? Oh, those are the good ones that voted for you to pay more taxes while they get cuts? Oh, okay, gotcha. Got ya.
What rich people are you eating? This woman doesn't look intimidating in the slightest. I mean, if we're going to play this game, I assume Soros is a good billionaire. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos was until he told the Washington Post not to endorse a candidate this time around.
Liberals don't really care about billionaires unless it's billionaires that they don't like. Take Taylor Swift, for example. No one is boycotting Taylor Swift. In fact, they sold out her Eras tour to the fact that she made $1 billion.
That's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Again, please give it a like, share it, subscribe to the channel. Consider going down into the description of this video and subbing to me on Patreon for extra benefits. And Red Channels will catch you in the next one.